Okay, welcome back. Looks like our footage for actually pulling the pads out and putting new pads in is missing. So the camera was not recording, and instead what I thought I would do is show you the old pads that came out of the bike, as well as the other products that I used to complete the installation. You see the high-powered brake cleaner by 3M. Had that left over from another brake job, and also had this Permatex silicone ceramic lubricant left over from a previous brake job. But those are the items that I used. One to clean the brake rotor before putting the new pads in, and the lubricant or grease, silicone grease basically, to lubricate the O-ring on the end of the brake pin. So the brake pads, the top two are the front ones, and they really didn't need changing. And this is for, let's see, about 12,500 miles on the bike. And these are the rear. Didn't need changing. So did this to basically upgrade the brake pads to the EBCs. This is what I used. I'm very pleased with the results. The brakes feel a lot more dialed in. They feel more responsive. They feel like they'll stop the bike better. There's plenty of brake lever there to haul the bike down from a high speed to a fast stop, which is also part of the break-in of the new brake pads. What else can I say? As far as the installation goes, relatively simple. If you've done any disc brakes before, the caliper doesn't come off. You just simply pull this out, and then the other side, pull that out, replace the backing plate, which is on the bike now, obviously, because the bike is back together, and just reinstall. Before you do that, of course, you got to squeeze the pistons back into the caliper, because they come out as the brake pads wear, and in order to get the new pads in, you got to give them some room. So I used my what set would this be called? I guess it's a plastic panel removal tool set. So some people say you can just put a screwdriver in between the rotor and the piston to push it back in. I would rather not do that. Didn't want to mar the rotor, and so just use those plastic pieces. And also in the back, I was able to pull the pad out somewhat and then leverage the pistons back into the caliper. One last thing to note is that when you do push the pistons into the caliper, you are pushing the brake fluid back up into the reservoir, so keep checking that and make sure you're not going to overflow it. There's also an alternative, and that is to hook up a hose to the brake caliper bleeder screw and let some brake fluid out that way, but always have some extra fresh brake fluid on hand, and you'll be able to refill it if you've used what you've got up. So talk with you soon.